morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, whatever part of the world you're currently listening to our podcast. My name is Al Mean. I'm the concept author of Face Economics, the utilization of the social media platform in economic development worldwide. That social media platform, as you all know, was never in existence in human history or in, throughout history of mankind. Um, and imagine the world that we're living in today where information overload could easily, stunt the progress of humanity, but it also could, basically leverage our ability as society and mankind to advance if we use technology and information that is available via those platforms, intelligently and with the intention to do good, not harm people. With that said, I thought I'd talk a little bit about this, two-party system in the U.S., which is pretty archaic. I don't even know who established the two-party system while I was doing my research. I found out that the Republican Party was established in March 20th of 1854, and the Democratic Party was established in 1828. Today, as I'm doing my podcast that has a global reach, um, on February the 25th, 2024, um, people are still not, trying to connect the dots regarding the two-party system. You know, the two-party system pretty much, was created before people of all races and background wasn't even, considered equal in those times. So, and even, in the year 2024, why is the country discriminating against the meeting of the minds, where people of different ideas, experiences, education, and global knowledge are being brought into the conversation. Why are the Republican and Democrat Party keep on talking about the same old talking points, same old narrative, from back 50, 60 years ago. It's like classical conditioning. It's the best way to describe what's going on. We're being classically conditioned to only pay attention to subjects and talking points that would resonate with us based off of what we've been hearing all along. We're not getting new material. We're not getting information that is advancing and constantly evolving. We're basically inundated with the same old crap. I mean, yes, some of those craps are still valid to this day, but you know what? There are a lot more challenges up ahead rather than just dealing about gun control or you know these issues with the border. Yes, it's important, it's very important to secure our border, but we also need to secure our future, and our future entails that we build capacity, brain capacity, to basically compete in the new world marketplace, because every single country on this planet are evolving and they're building their capacity. Everybody's reaching, for the top. They're racing, to the very top of that pole to advance. So why are we stuck on stupid? Why are we still talking about the same old stuff and the same old narrative that has been, force fed to us, by the two-party system? Today, if you reference the cloud, people would acknowledge storing data via an online platform. When the Republican and Democrat Party was established, people back then would assume that it will rain outside. You understand the concept and the mentality and the overall way of thinking, you know, today versus, back in the 1800s. Okay. The Internet of Things today entails devices connected to online via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Neither terms were even used in 1991. Okay, folks, 1991. So, based on my research, all these stuff that, we tend to, ignore are going to be the same stuff that we're going to have to face and deal with as the world evolves. We're not moving back, we're moving forward. It won't be 2023 ever again. It won't be 2022 ever again. It won't be 2021 ever again. It's got to be 2025, 2026, 2027, moving forward. Okay, folks. So a phone 80 years ago would be connected to a LAN cable. Okay. Today, an antenna tower gives your handheld device the capacity to take you around the world and start a company via your social media platform on your smartphone, just off of your smartphone. Back in the days, mass communication happens in weeks, not seconds. Today, everything happens instantly with the transfer of knowledge, the sharing of information, and also sharing of misinformation. Okay. We need to learn how to deal with all these stuff moving forward. Okay. Why are we still talking about the same old narrative that the Republican and Democratic Party have been talking about for ages? I mean, look, folks, there's always going to be this problem with the border. As long as America is a wealthy, powerful, and well-desired country to move to, people from around the world, not just our borders, people will be getting on an airplane and they would overstay their visa. They would do anything to stay in the country if the country is that, beacon of hope for them. As long as the country is that, they present that value to people, they would come to America. I mean, that's just the whole reality of things. What we need to do and what we need to acknowledge is that we have to learn how to engage these kinds of challenges in the new normal, in the new world marketplace, in our new reality. Okay, folks, I'm glad that people want to come to America. I'm glad that people want to establish, their life in America. That means that we're still competitive in attracting talents. We're still competitive in attracting, people, hopefully quality people. Now, there's never going to be, a perfect, system that we're always going to be able to find, quality, desirable people alone only to come to the States or our country. But at least we need to start thinking ahead. We need to find a way and solve this, this quagmire that we're having to deal with migration. But that's not the only issue right now that we're having to deal with as a country. Just a couple of weeks ago, all these social media giants had to be brought in by Congress to testify because there's so many things that are evolving in the marketplace that have been precipitated by this new normal, the social media platform. Okay. And still to this day, we're basically sitting on our, hands and just waiting for things to happen instead of being proactive and trying to understand that the world will continue to evolve and people will continue to find a way to utilize new technology, okay, to better themselves or inflict harm on other people. So these are the new challenges in the year 2024. Okay, folks, these are major challenges that we're going to have to deal with. So why are we still stuck on just a two-party system that neither one of them is really providing a solution to these challenges to begin with? They're still talking about the same old narrative that they've been talking about back in the days, before people are even considered, equal. And before people were even considered, contributor to a society, before people were even allowed to participate in civic discourse. Okay. So who made a decision that America is the only country that should have a two-party political system anyway, while advancing, democracies worldwide are evolving their political capacity? Okay, folks, the meeting of the minds happen in various forms. You can't just, select and pre-qualify and discriminate people that you want to hear from. You want to hear, various school of thoughts, various interpretation, expertise, and all sorts of um, you know mind capacity that maybe it wasn't utilized in the past. Maybe you had we utilized all these, new way of thinking, then we would have actually solved these problems. Like this war that's an ongoing war. In Ukraine, in the year 2024, imagine people engaging in a war where a lot of their people, both sides, the Russians and the Ukrainians, are dying off over an ideology that could have been amicably solved diplomatically. Okay, there really isn't any more reason. I mean, back in even World War I, World War II, there wasn't really a good reason enough for people to kill each other off. Look, I'm not a pacifist. Okay, I understand that sometimes war has to happen, but in the year 2024, folks, war does not need to happen any longer. Okay, um, so America, if you want to be stuck on stupid, then buy the same old juice up pathetic talking points that are being panhandled by those who can't think outside the proverbial box of the Republican and Democratic narrative. Stay stuck on stupid. But know this: every time you look down on your smartphone and utilize your app, understand that your device is smarter than you. A thing is smarter than you because your device has the ability to think more than you have the ability to exercise your own judgment, your own interpretation, your own education, your own life experience, and overall capacity to outdo a machine. Okay, folks. So, with that said, I'm just, I'm completely baffled by how things are evolving right now. Just, I pay attention to geopolitics and also geoeconomics worldwide. And it's baffling to me to see societies going back to, 20, 35 years ago, and decision makers participating in bringing people back into those times that every single one of them, when they were growing up, especially these decision makers in their 60s, 70s, 80s, they tried to alleviate suffering back then. They tried their very best to get out of that situation, that quagmire that they got stuck on stupid on. Okay, folks. And yeah, nowadays I'm seeing a lot of that stupidity gravitating back to where in the past, where it does, where it belonged. All these crap that's happening today that is superficial and man-made shouldn't be happening, folks. I mean, seriously, we have bigger problems up ahead that we need to pay attention to and prepare for. The two-party system, Republican Democratic Party, I've worked for both parties when I was in college and school, and even in my earlier years as an adult. I understand both platforms. I understand why the Republican Party and Democratic Party are basically pushing the same old narrative that they've been pushing because that's what people have gotten used to. That's what people understand and know. But guess what, Democratic and Republican Party, if you want to be relevant, if you want to remain relevant, you have to educate the people, the public. You have to, tell them, what's up ahead, what, not what's back that in the old days, you know, because you have to provide a solution to people. You can't just talk about the problem. You have to provide a solution. And the best way to provide a solution is to explore various school of thoughts and appreciating the condition that we now live in the year 2024 and the environment, marketplace, political landscape that we now live in order to provide that solution. You can't be an expert on connecting the dots and making sense of what's about to come. You're never going to be able to be that problem solver for a community, for a state, for a country, simply because the world is evolving, countries evolve, societies evolve, school of thoughts evolve, value systems evolve, and the overall decision-making capacity of people evolve through time. Okay, now when you're stuck on stupid, you don't want people to evolve because you want everybody else to be stuck on stupid with you. That's the 100% unadulterated fact regarding being stuck on stupid. People that want to be stuck on stupid simply cannot use their brain capacity anymore. The reason for that is because they want to stay in their comfort zone. They want to stay in an environment that's familiar to them. Now, that's okay if you're a sheep. If you have that sheep mentality that you just go, with the flow and not have to exercise your brain capacity, then maybe the two-party system would work for you. But if you're in the new world marketplace, operating in the new world marketplace, and trying to advance and help society advance in the new world marketplace, then forget about a two-party system. Vote for people that are solution providers, problem solvers. Okay. These are the ones that you all need to pay attention to, not the ones that keeps on talking about what they did in the past. The past is gone. What I'm interested in is what you're going to do for us in the future, because the future is going to be significantly different than the past. And in this future is going to be significantly much more cumbersome and complex than the past, because back in the year 1854 and 1828, when the Republican Democratic Party was created, they didn't even have, a way to talk to each other online via Wi-Fi signal. Okay, so you can't build, a building today with the same standards that people were using back in the 1800s, because that building will collapse. That building will not pass inspection. That building will be inoperable in today's world. So folks, think about what I'm saying. If you truly, truly want to be a problem solver, if you want to contribute to your country, your community, and to the future, and be that problem solver on the upcoming and looming problems that are about to hit us point blank in the face, because of the evolution of the marketplace, then consider voting for people not based on party, but based on the solution that they're providing to you. Anybody can just talk about crap. Anybody can just talk about the problem. Very few people have answer and the solution to provide, in order to solve a problem. Okay. The reason most politicians today still operate using the same narrative within their parties, because their party created a narrative, a subject matter that resonates to their base. It resonates, with the people that grew up listening to the same old narrative, same old broke, tired narrative. Okay, because they want people to just follow their lead and follow their narrative without thinking and examining the facts, and examining, how things are happening for themselves, and connect the dots themselves, because people have gotten so tired of, educating themselves and exploring new, ways and possibilities in today's new world marketplace. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm just going to go ahead and make this podcast short. I just want to reflect on this, two-party situation that I've been hearing quite a bit, because I heard, some people that are now campaigning having to deal with, a narrative that is so outdated that it makes me wonder, why are they even focused on it? I mean, it's no longer a big issue. It's no longer a major issue. What I would suggest is, once you put together data and statistics, and talk about the things that are actually happening today, and not, just based on talking points. So, as y'all saw in this podcast, I'm not trying to drop the mic. I'm actually trying to pick it up. So, because more can still be said in the evolution of today's world. And with this said, folks, till we meet again, thank you for your time. Take care.